Here is our new Angora bunny. And you can see how puffy he is. He looks pretty good. Is your eye bugging you, buddy? It looks like he has some matting around his eyes. I want to move this so that he can get in here. There we go. He needs to be able to, you need to be able to put his water in a place that it wasn't going to be tipped over. So his body looks really good. Some of his furnishings on his face look like they're kind of matted, and I'm not real happy about that. I put his food in here just because there's I need to get a bigger, like I have this big, this is like a big peach can that I poked a hole in with a nail and tied up for his food. And then this guy's not used to things yet, and I don't know if he's getting caught on stuff or if he just needs to be trimmed. Hey, buddy. He might just need to be trimmed because see, he's got a little, he might be a little stressed out because he has some fiber coming out, or it might have just caught on something. We didn't know we were getting him last night. The lady that we exchanged a little tiny greenhouse for, she called us when we were already all the way out of town and asked, well, unexpectedly she was coming down and wouldn't be able to come down until February again, so I didn't have a chance to get his cage ready for him like I wanted to. But he's looking pretty good. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. I don't like, this is not my favorite cage. I don't like that I have this fabric, this mesh fabric. What's it called? Cloth, hardware cloth. I don't like that I have it up here because I think he's been climbing up, like here right next to this. He's right next to the edge of that, and I don't want him to be next to the edge of that because it's sharp. And I don't have it on this side. Anyway, so I just need to kind of work on things a little bit right now. I might want to take that out because I think he's too big to fit in it anyway. This guy loves his little, I can't even see him, he's so dark. He loves his little can, but I don't know how well this guy, we're going to call him Bunnicula. And you can also see that it's going to pull on his fiber and pull his fiber out, having those pieces there. So if nothing else, I need to go get my hog rings and tie it in better. You can see how puffy he is. Yeah, I really don't like that. I really don't like that. He's a little thirsty. So I'm going to go get hog rings and tie that in better now, because when we got home last night, it was like 10:30 at night. I couldn't see anything. I just needed to get him in a pen, give him something to eat. And I really like him to have more space than this. I have one other cage, and what I'd like to do is open up each one of these cages so that the bunnies each have that kind of space. I kind of just want to take that out so he can move better. Isn't that nice to have a little more space? Yeah, he's a big bunny and he really needs more space than this. So, but you can see his fiber. Some of that came off on my shirt. I have a whole nother cage that I could put him in all by himself. So he had some really good space. And that's probably what we'll do. Hey guys, so I wanted to show you, so this is a peach can, the direction of those holes. Okay, the sharp edges are on the outside. If you did them, so if you tried to hammer a nail in from this side, you'd have the shards on the inside. But because I use a screwdriver and a hammer, I just put the screwdriver, the Phillips head here from the inside while it's laying on its side and make those holes. And then I can use, darn it, I can use a hog ring and a special set of pliers to attach it to the cage, or I can just use some wire. And that makes a really nice little feeder for a bunny. Now, I have never sheared him before. He's pretty calm, but he has some felting on his legs and on his bottom. I think that he had some moisture on his board. It's nice to put a board in their cage so that you can let them get some rest from the wire. I'm gonna open some windows so that he's not getting too cold, too warm. So we'll see how this goes. Come here, bunny. You can see how fluffy he is. And you can see he has a little bit of vegetable matter. So he has some matting. So I'm going to start in the middle where I can see really good. And then once I can see good and I can get a good start and see a good line, that's when I'll get to some of his matting. And he's black. But he's actually, I've had blacks before, and he's pretty light. Instead of being like a really nice dark black, he's pretty light, which isn't like a huge problem. It just and what I'm doing right now is just trying to get a good start so I can get my scissors in there better. You don't want to cut their skin. If you cut them, they'll always be real jumpy for you, because they'll just be waiting for the next time that you're going to cut them. You only want one cut per spot. If you have double cuts in the same spot so that you have a really tiny short piece, that's called a second. And seconds are bad. They lead to slubs. And slubs are not something you want. They make your spinning uneven. Okay, you want to be able to work in long lines. So now that I have this little patch opened up, I want straight lines so that I can get my scissors all the way in and cut a long line. It just works better that way. I put a towel on my lap so that the bunny has some good grip underneath them, and also so that if he pees on me, I'm not getting soaked. And this is why it's nice just to have one bunny, is because it is rather tedious. You want good sharp scissors with a point, because if you don't have the point, it's hard to get in between the layers of fiber. And again, if I didn't already say it, make sure you have your windows open because it will get too warm for him sitting on your lap. And the longer your cut is, the better, the less seconds you get, if you can have a nice long cut rather than short choppy ones. Again, try really hard not to nick him, because if you nick them, they're always going to be flinching after this whenever they have to sit on your lap. Okay, Paige, you can go turn it back on. You're looking for pink. When you want a thin layer on your scissors, and then you're looking for pink. Plug it in, honey. It's right here.
Over the snow and through the wood towards the other lane. In about 10 minutes, she reached it and found it on a lamp. As she stood looking at it, wondering why there was a lamp post in the middle of the wood.
So I wasn't able to get the rest of the bunny groom, the bunny clip, because my camera died. So I'm going to show you today with my dog how it is that you turn your rabbit over so you can do their belly. Come here, Tina. Come here. Come on. Okay, so pretend this is your bunny, and here's your ears. What you're going to do is hold their ears back like this, put your hand on their chest. It's okay. It's okay. And lay them down like this. Just the same way that you would with a small dog. And the trick is to hold their ears back like that. Hold them and flip them. Good girl. Okay, you can get up. So that's how you do it, and then you groom them just exactly the same way. With Angoras, you want to make sure that their fiber does not get wet. What happened with... Okay, so he is finished. Sorry, he wants to be active. So he's all finished. I have him all cleaned up, especially on his genitals. He has a sore spot where urine accumulated, and so he has a sore spot that I'm going to watch real careful to make sure that it's not going to cause real problems. So that is how much fiber came out off of him, and that doesn't include everything down on the floor that was matted. And again, I had a wooden board for him. In fact, let's get him down. I had a wooden board for him to sit on in his cage. I'm going to let him walk around for a minute, get a drink. I had a wooden board for him in his cage to sit on, and it ended up accumulating urine, and that's what got in his fiber was urine. And so it wasn't matted, it was just it got wet, and it matted because it got wet, not because it was actually matted. So I'm going to take him back out to his cage. He's going to feel a lot better now. And I mean, let's see if I can bring it over. That's a huge amount of fiber for one little bunny. That's quite a lot of fiber. So we will show you spinning it here in a bit. And I will try to show you the rest of the groom later. Can you see him? But I just, my battery died on my camera, so we'll just show you again later. Okay guys, you can't tell me that you don't think it's funny how much smaller he looks without his fiber. Oh my gosh. He's actually smaller than the other rabbits. Now what I'd like to do is put a house in there like for my other bunny. I wonder if he will pee in it. If he pees in it, I don't want to give him one because then he gives himself sores. You can see that I'm well, maybe you can't see. I'm covered in fiber. I'm really excited to spin it though. So I'm going, and oh, the other thing, I have made very, very sure that he has plenty of roughage to chew on, because now that I have pulled all that fiber off, he's going to have bits and bobs and ends that he's going to lick off himself. So especially right now, I've got to keep his hay full so that he can chew on it. Kind of feel like I should eat some hay too right now because I keep pulling all this fiber out of my mouth. I'm gonna get wool block for sure. Hey guys, so another progress report. So I have just a tiny bit of asthma, not like life-threatening asthma, but just if I get into something really aggressive, my asthma pops up, and again, not life-threatening, but for somebody who has asthma, working with Angora might be a really bad idea because it's tiny. It gets on everything and it holds on to everything. Other kinds of fiber that are coarser are not as bad. But if any of you have animal allergies, I would not suggest an Angora rabbit. I get over it very quickly, but I've got it in my eyes. And it's not just when you shear them, it is when you spin with it too. And so I will feel better once I have vacuumed once and taken a shower. Again, I'm not, this is not an emergency. It's not like any reason for me not to keep a rabbit, but I did want to just let you guys know that for those of you who have maybe severe asthma, this would not be the animal for you to keep. And again, if you don't have asthma, this wouldn't happen to you. They do have a little bit of dander when you brush them, or a lot of times people will use a blow dryer, a professional dryer, to blow dander out of their wool and to keep them tangle free. And they do have a tiny bit of dander that builds up in their wool, and that can cause reactions to people. What you're seeing is me trying to get all the fiber out of my eyes, and it's not working. I love the fiber. I think it's phenomenal and beautiful, and I love to wear it. But I don't want any of you guys to die. I would miss you. So there's another heads up.